Okay, we're going to specifically do a video on the cartridge, the 6mm arc. It's important to know what you're shooting. So I'm building you this gun because it meets the requirements of what you asked for. When you said you wanted me to make you a gun, you said that you wanted a gun to shoot at a bench out to 150 yards where you play this kind of target poker with the playing deck cards out that far. So you wanted to be able to accurately hit the cards that you wanted. You also wanted to be able to shoot ground squirrels out at the ranch, as well as you wanted it to be able to take down an antelope when we go antelope hunting every year. So this is what I recommended because I pretty much built a gun for almost the same reason. When you hear AR-15, what you're normally hearing is the 222-556, which this is typically what comes out of that gun. But as what we learn, or what you will learn in other videos, is that the AR platform can house a multitude of different cartridges. So I know what you first originally asked for was the 6.5 Creedmoor. So obviously Dad has a great 6.5 Creedmoor. Here's that 6.5 Creedmoor round. Actually, I want to put it next to the 6 arc so you can kind of see the difference in size. Obviously the case is a lot smaller, and obviously it's a 6mm bullet instead of a 6.5. And then of course the grain of the bullet is going to be a lot lighter too, but still definitely capable of taking down antelope, deer size game, obviously use it when using the correct bullet. So anyway, I talked you into the AR platform just because I think it's so much more fun, as well as versatile in a multitude of different ways. It meets all of your requirements. So the 6mm arc, to give you kind of a little history, so the case came from the 220 Russian, and then it was developed into a cartridge called the 6.5 Grendel. So imagine the 6 arc case, but capable of shooting the 6.5 Creedmoor bullet. So it was a super popular gun or cartridge. People loved it, but one of the big drawbacks from it was obviously if you have a smaller case, it's not going to shoot that heavy bullet quite as fast, and therefore the long range capabilities of it were not maximized, let's say. And actually, what recently came out from Hornady is actually the arc, but in a 22 caliber. So same principle in regards to necking down that bullet to be able to shoot it that much faster, it being that flat. Obviously, definitely a varmint gun. Pretty much it would be kind of like your cream of the crop for coyotes, if you wanted to go coyote hunting, and obviously smaller game as well. I'm not sure if I would hunt antelope with it, but I'm sure we'll have that information as more people start to use it. So anyway, the 6mm arc, so ARC stands for Advanced Rifle Cartridge. It was actually developed by Hornady. So there were people that were necking down the Grendel, and what is called the 6mm BR or 6mm bench rest, which is considered a wildcat round, meaning people that shoot competition ask for custom barrels made to shoot custom ammunition that they made for that custom barrel. So what Hornady did was developed the 6mm ARC and got it approved for mass production, meaning, you know, so you can sell the bullets, the cartridges, guns made in that. They have to meet certain safety standards. So they got all of that approved. So anyway, I'm obviously, because of this was developed by Hornady, I'm very partial to the Hornady bullets. What I really like is what they just released this year. Or actually, let's back up. So obviously, with a certain diameter bullet, you're going to have a range of grain weights. So what I have been able to effectively shoot is a 75 grain up to a 105 grain. I have shot a 65 VMAX, which was super fun to shoot, but not quite as accurate. The reasoning for that is obviously a lighter bullet is going to go faster, but you want this elongated shape. The longer it is, the more stable in flight and the more accurate it's going to be at longer distances. So you kind of have this catch-22, right? You have, I want an accurate round, but it needs to be a bigger round, but then it's going to be slower, right? So with this one, you get speed. With this one, you get accuracy. So what Hornady did was they came out with this new VT bullet, the ELD-VT. As you can see on the box, what they did is they created this hollow chamber in here. So they're able to make a longer bullet, but keep it light. So as you can see, this is a 75 grain. This is an 80 grain. And it's that much longer. So meaning just as fast and that accurate. To give you another comparison, this right here is the ELDX 90 grain. So as you can see, the VT bullet is longer, but weighs 10 grains less than this 90 grain ELDX. So they've combined the best of both worlds. I've been able to do a hand load with this VT bullet going 3,000 feet per second, but has the accuracy of this 105 grain that I can only shoot out of my 18-inch barrel around 2,600 feet per second, which that's a huge difference. Now, because it does have that hollow chamber in it, it means when it makes impact, it's going to expand, and it's going to expand fast, which that's why it's called a varmint bullet. Pretty much it is perfect for coyote, would probably be the biggest you'd want to go. If you want to do antelope, what I would do would be I would make you additional rounds, but I would probably use this 90 grain ELDX, or I would maybe even purchase the 105 grain ELDX. Hornady is the one that released the initial ammo for the 6mm ARC. They have the black, which is meant for the AR platform. They have the match, which, and then they also have the ELDX, the Precision Hunter. So pretty much the match and the Precision Hunter are very similar. They kind of have the same profile, but the Precision Hunter is obviously, it's going to have expansion that's meant for hunting. So, yeah, we would make you special rounds for hunting with this. But what's super cool about this ELD-VT bullet is that it was specifically designed for the 6 ARC. And I have been shooting 5-round clovers at 100 yards at 3,000 feet per second with a standard deviation under 10 for 25 rounds. So I've been super happy with the 6mm ARC so far. To kind of give you its overall capabilities, because it's in the AR platform, it's a lot lighter. My gun with the scope weighs just under 9 pounds. I do have the steel barrel, which I got for you. The carbon fiber you really only want to use as a specific hunting gun. Carbon fiber barrels aren't really meant to shoot a multiple rounds in succession. I would say this thing, if you want to play your poker game shooting cards, I think you could go out to 300 yards and still hit whatever you want, no problem. I think this thing can effectively take down an antelope out to 400 yards. But it's also a gun that you can shoot standing up, you can shoot kneeled. Obviously put a bipod on it and shoot prone, for absolute best accuracy. But like I said, just kind of wanted to give you a little bit more of what the 6mm ARC is, kind of what derived it, what kind of bullets it's similar to, its capabilities. So obviously follow up with me if you have any additional questions, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of information that if you kind of want to explain this gun to your friends, why it's so cool. Well, anyway, on to the next video.